Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In the last video and on previous videos, I keep getting asked the same question. How much does it cost to build the electrical system on my van that allows me to power a pressure washer and a gutter vac? So today I'm going to do a price breakdown of all the equipment that you need. Then I'm going to compare how much that cost is compared to a Honda generator of the same sort of output, and then we're going to discuss the pros and cons of each method. So what we'll do, we'll take a look at the van so I can show you the actual components that we're talking about. I don't have a petrol generator, but I'll put a picture up right now so you can see what they look like. And yeah, we're basically going to discuss why I went the way I did and why you might want to use a petrol generator. Okay, so we're going to do a cost breakdown now of the electrical system versus a petrol generator. Now, depending on your business and your priorities, obviously each method might not be suitable for you. I am shocked though that we don't see more of this, to be honest, the electric system, because it does stack up pretty well. So then, have a look around by here and I'll show you the basics of the components. So you're going to need your 12-volt batteries, which you should already have if you're a window cleaner, but you're probably going to want to bulk them up a bit. You want to get a decent inverter. You want to go for a Vitron, I'd recommend. And then you're basically going to need your fuse boxes, a couple of battery protection relays, so if they sense the voltage going too low, they protect the system, and then your plug sockets. So I'll do a quick breakdown of the cost. Now, I did pay quite a lot more than these prices, if I'm honest, but shopping around online, I did manage to find a few bargains. So the inverter, which is what basically converts battery power into mains power, to put it simply, a 2000 watt Vitron is £494. The batteries on the other side, there's two of them. So there's one behind this panel and there's one on the top. They're matching 220 amp hour batteries, 12 volts, £220 each. So two of those, that's £440. We've also got the smart shunt, so I'll overlay a little clip now. It tracks all of the amps going in, the amps going out, the voltages, and it's just the brains that basically tells you what's going on with your system. So that, including miscellaneous wiring, fuse boxes, isolation switches, come to a total of £1,224. Now, most window cleaners will have a 120 amp hour AGM battery in their system at the minimum. So I'm going to take that off the price because that's something you don't now have to buy. So really, your outlay, the cost of having this facility in your van, additional, would work out at £1,084. So how does that compare to a Honda EU22i generator? I would say Vitron is probably matching to Honda in quality. Don't get me wrong, you can get cheaper generators, but you can get cheaper inverters too. So the Honda EU22i is a solid generator, and that is £1,095.99. So actually, it works out about the same. Now, there are some considerations depending on what you're actually using it for. So for me personally, I just want it always there, always ready to go, don't even want to think about it. Customer asks me for a job, if I need to use it, it's always there, ready to go. With a generator, it might not be in the van, I might not have fuel, there's all these other things to think about. So for me, this was the way I went. But let's actually talk about the pros and cons of both of the systems. So this system has a runtime of 1 hour and 30 minutes at maximum draw. So basically running a pressure washer with my finger on the trigger, pulling the max power that the system can basically output, at full tilt is going to last 90 minutes of constant use. If I was to start the van engine and do the same thing, I would get about 3 hours. And if I was to be pressure washing, turn around, pressure wash, turn around, pressure wash, running off with the van engine running, it would literally run infinitely at 50% duty. So obviously not ideal to have the van running, but in that worst case scenario, you know, I have got a generator under the bonnet there. So pros, it's very quiet. There's no engine rattling away in the background when you're working. It's quiet, it's always fully fueled, and you don't have to pay for petrol. Cons. It is quite heavy. If you've got a small van or your payload is limited in the vehicle, it's going to add 100 kilograms and it's pretty much always in the van. It's not really removable. If you do it the way I've done it, it's a permanent install. So that is something to consider. This van has a payload of 1.5 ton. So I'm down to 1.4 now of payload. So it's not a massive hit. But if you're like fitting it in a Volkswagen Caddy, then obviously that's going to hurt, losing 100 kilograms. So that's the main con, really. The Honda, it has a max runtime of 3 hours and 30 minutes at full pelt. The runtime at no load is 8 hours. So basically you're going to get between 3 and 8 hours on a tank of fuel. Pros to the Honda, they're portable, they're removable, they're lightweight, and they have got a longer runtime. So which option is best for you? Well, that depends. Our business, we make money squeezing jobs in as and when the customer asks for it, if we're already there. If I price a job, I've then got to go from the property, fill up, go and get some equipment, bring it back to the customer. Like already the prices are going to either have to go up or my profit's going down. Customer says to me, can you do this? Yes, I can. Flick the switch on, in the van, in and out, 30 minutes. That's where the profit is for me in my business. And this is why this system works so well. But for your business, it might be different. I can see the benefits to a generator. If I had a smaller van, if my priorities were different or I was doing longer, bigger jobs, commercial jobs, and I had to be off grid, then obviously the battery system is not going to scale quite as well there. So it all depends on what your priorities are, basically. Now, whether you run a decent generator or a decent electrical system, you're looking at about £1,100–1,200. So hopefully that's answered the question. You've got all your comparisons there and you can see the pros and cons. So let me know what you think. Hopefully you've enjoyed that video and I'll see you in the next one. Another benefit of the electrical system is I've got a fridge in the van running pretty much all the time. I got about 20 litres of water in there and it's chilled to 1 degree. It runs all weekend, all day, all night, and it never runs out of power. The batteries don't ever really go below 95% when in that fridge. So on a hot summer's day, that's just another benefit to having additional power. Not just that, we use the system as well to charge the phones. It always comes in handy for bits and bobs. We charge the backpacks in the van, the gardener backpacks, so we never ever got to worry about it, and that's really a big selling point for me in my business. So